What kind of a private detective are you, Whalen?
Good, Brewster. The best, or you wouldn't have hired me.
I wonder about that.
Watch the tone of voice, Brewster. I don't like it.
All right. I'm sorry, Whalen. But I want action.
You're getting it.
But it's too slow. I hired you 2 months ago to get something on Lester Allen, and what have you done?
Nothing. Yet.
Nothing. How am I going to win the nomination against a man with a record like Allen?
He's pure, Mr. Brewster, sure, but he's not hermetically sealed.
I know that. He was involved in something illegal once, but he's covered it up. I hired you to uncover it. Now, why haven't you?
Look, Brewster, when you hired me, you hired a detective, not a P-38. I work slowly, but I get there just the same.
You made any progress at all?
You'd be surprised.
Surprise me, then.
Boston Blackie knows what Allen did wrong a few years back.
But I told you Boston Blackie knew about Allen's illegal jaunt. Blackie was the one who caught him at it, but he won't talk.
Don't worry, Mr. Brewster. I found somebody else who knows about Allen and will talk.
Who?
A dame who came into my office this morning.
What does she know about Allen?
Everything Boston Blackie knows.
What makes you think so?
She's, Mrs. Boston Blackie.
And now meet Richard Calmer's Boston Blackie. Enemy to those who make him an enemy, friend to those who have no friend.
I'm awfully glad you had a moment to see me, Mr. Allen. Blackie's told me so much about you.
Oh, you're Mrs. Boston Blackie. Well, this is certainly a surprise. When were you married?
3 weeks ago in Springfield, Ohio. Oh, Mr. Allen Blackie speaks of you so often.
He doesn't tell the whole truth, I hope.
Oh, but he does. Even about that, scandal you were mixed up in a few years ago.
You mentioned that for any particular reason?
Oh, yes.
I don't think I understand.
You will. You don't really have to continue in the campaign, do you?
I'm beginning to understand now.
You'd have a difficult time being elected to any office if you were exposed, wouldn't you?
Now, look here. I was innocently involved in that scandal. That's why Blackie pledged himself never to mention it to anyone.
Oh, but he mentioned it to me, his wife. And I'm not bound by any foolish pledge to keep it secret.
Now, look, are you trying to...
I'm more than trying, Mr. Allen. I'm doing it. I want you to drop out of the campaign.
What if I don't? Is there any other choice?
Maybe.
Money.
Maybe.
How much?
You name it.
500.
You did say 10,000, didn't you?
10,000?
Oh, that's better.
But how do I know once I pay you...
You'll
you
just have to trust me.
And of course, you can be trusted.
I don't like sarcasm, Mr. Allen. Just money.
How do you want it?
In cash. And in small bills.
You did say you were Mrs. Boston Blackie, didn't you?
Well, of course I'm Mrs. Boston Blackie. Why?
Why? Because you sound to me more like Mrs. Boston Blackmail.
What's the matter with you, Mary? You aren't eating.
I was just thinking, Blackie.
What? That you don't like your own cooking?
Nope. I was just thinking, are you ever going to get married?
Maybe, if I ever get to thinking, too.
Some people do marry, you know.
Some people jump out of windows, too.
Oh.
I'll answer it. But it's probably your building superintendent telling you he's finished moving your stuff into the new apartment.
I hope so.
Hello.
Blackie, this is Lester Allen.
Not Lester J. Allen. How are you, Les? Where you been hiding?
Don't give me that old pal stuff, Blackie.
Hey, what's the matter?
You know very well what's the matter. I thought you realized I was innocently involved in that highway property scandal, and that what you knew was to stay strictly between the two of us.
Well, that's a fine reason to be sore.
Well, I wouldn't be if you'd kept your word. Your wife is here with me now.
My wife?
You married her in Springfield, Ohio, 3 weeks ago.
My wife is in your office?
Blackie.
Wait a minute, Mary. Now, wait, will you?
Look, Blackie, what was the idea?
Just a minute, Les. Mary, wait.
I will not wait. I'm getting my hat and coat.
Blackie, you still there?
Listen, Les, I can't talk to you right now. Keep my wife there.
Huh?
Don't let her leave. I'll see you in a minute. Mary.
No wonder you didn't want to talk about getting married someday. You're already married.
Now, look, Mary.
I'm
this
going
whole...
to look all right. And I'm going to keep looking until I get where you can't find me.
She's still here, Les?
In my den, Blackie. And you have a lot of explaining to do. She knows about that construction scandal.
Oh, does she?
Well, she implied as much.
You have a guilty conscience, that's all. I put in a call to Springfield. It'll come here, if you don't mind. Where is your den?
This way. I didn't tell her you were coming. Managed to slip away while she was waiting for the money and phone you.
Good.
Come on in.
Blackie. But, darling, what are you doing here? You said you weren't coming.
I couldn't stay away from you another moment, sugar.
Oh, you sweet thing. You're the most wonderful husband in the world.
No, I wouldn't say... Huh?
Blackie. Then she is your wife.
Well, of course I'm his wife, Mr. Allen.
Oh, yeah, tell the bewildered man all about it, darling.
You mean how we met at the Mountain Inn in New Hampshire last August?
Mm-hmm, if you wish.
Blackie, you did spend last August at the Mountain Inn.
Of course I did.
Darling, why aren't you wearing your lovely brown suit? The one with the thin white stripe. You look so nice in that.
Oh, you don't love me just for my clothes, do you, darling?
Well, Blackie, this convinces me. I was with you when you bought that suit. I knew I
Must
should never...
we stay here any longer, darling? Let's go to Martin's for dinner. That's your favorite place.
No, dear, let's go
I've
over
heard
to...
enough from both of you. This girl is your wife, Blackie, or she wouldn't know so much about you.
Let's go, darling.
You go ahead. I'll meet you later.
All right. I have an appointment at the hairdresser's anyway. I'll meet you afterwards. Bye, darling.
I think you'd better leave, too, Blackie. I've had enough of you
Les,
and your...
I've never seen that girl before in my life.
Huh? Then how did she know enough about me and that construction scandal to blackmail me?
That girl blackmailed you?
$10,000.
Well, look, Les. As soon as this call from Springfield comes through and straightens you out about the girl, I'll straighten out this blackmail business myself.
It'll take a lot to convince me that girl's not your wife. She knows too much about you.
She's probably been studying for this act for months. Oh, that's my call. Hello?
Hello, this is the Marriage Bureau in Springfield, Ohio.
Oh, yes, I called you. I'd like to know if you have any record of a Boston Blackie being married in your town 3 weeks ago.
Just a moment.
Look, Les, this will straighten you out about the girl. Now, don't worry.
Then what about my $10,000?
You shouldn't have paid it until you got in touch with me.
That girl was so convincing.
Yeah, I can believe
Hello?
that. Yes?
You want to know if a man by the name of Boston Blackie got married here?
You have no record of any such marriage?
Who wants to know?
I do. I'm Boston Blackie.
What's the matter with you, young man? What have you got besides a wife? A case of amnesia?
Boston Blackie was married in your town?
Sure he was. To Joan Blake just 3 weeks ago.
Well, look, there must be...
Look. If this is your idea of a joke, I don't like it. I don't have time to waste. Goodbye.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Well?
A man by the name of Boston Blackie was married to Joan Blake in Springfield, all right.
Blackie, why are you doing this to me? I trusted you.
Don't you understand, Les? This whole thing is faked. Nobody knows anything about you except me. And I haven't talked, and I'm not married to that girl.
I'd like to think you wouldn't blackmail me, but who would and why?
I don't know, but I'll find out. I can find out where my wife is living.
She told me when she first came in that she was living at the Waltham House until you could find a larger apartment.
The Waltham House, huh? I'll go down there and see her.
Yeah, and oh, by the way, a young lady seemed interested in going to see Mrs. Boston Blackie, too. She phoned here just after I spoke to you on the phone. Her name was Mary Wesley.
Mary called here?
Yeah. I gave her the Waltham House address. Did I do anything wrong?
You're batting 100% today, Les. So far, you haven't done anything right. Hey, is this the Waltham House or the morgue?
I'm right with you, sir.
Oh, now I feel better. I'm getting lonesome out here.
Yes, sir.
Is there a Mrs. Boston Blackie registered here?
Oh, yes, in room 1107.
Thanks.
Oh, just a minute, sir. I made a mistake. Mrs. Boston Blackie is not in room 1106.
Where is she?
She moved to room 1109 this morning.
Well, I'm going up to see her now. All an ordinary woman does is change her mind. My wife has to change her room, too. I'd like to speak to... Well, Inspector Faraday. I would not like to speak to you.
All right, Blackie. I thought you'd have better sense than to come back. Get in here.
Sure. And stop waving that gun in my face. Look, Faraday, be as stupid as you want to on your own time, but not on mine. I came here to talk... Wow.
Now, don't act surprised, Blackie. She's not sleeping. She's been shot. She's dead. And you killed her.
I killed her. I only saw her once in my life.
So, it was love at first sight. You married her. I have this certificate to prove it. Listen. Bride, Joan Blake. Groom, Boston Blackie. Married, Springfield, Ohio. Now, try to talk your way out of that.
Faraday, don't be a dope, will you? Why would I kill this girl, this Joan Blake?
First of all, for money. She had $10,000. Here's a note she was writing, sending it to somebody.
Who?
It doesn't say who. And there isn't even car fare in this room. And look at this, a handkerchief.
I don't use ladies' handkerchiefs.
No, but Mary Wesley does. Look, her name's on this one.
Uh-oh.
And maybe you didn't kill her, Blackie. Maybe Mary Wesley did. The handkerchief was in the corner of that sofa by the window. Come on, Blackie.
All right, Inspector. Don't mind if I smoke on the way?
Smoke, who cares?
Join me?
No, thanks. Hurry up, let's go.
Oh, wait till I get a light, will you?
Blackie, if this is one of your smart tricks, I'll...
Since when is lighting a cigarette a smart trick, Inspector? Even you can do it. Good night. Say, I wonder what's in this cigarette.
Tobacco, wise guy.
Something has been added that should have been subtracted. Wait till I have a look.
Blackie, so help me, you can waste more time.
Where'll I put it out? Yeah. Tastes as if it was soaked in pickle juice. Let's see what's in it.
There's nothing in it but tobacco. Come on.
Look, I have the cigarette split open now. I told you there was something in it besides tobacco.
I don't see it.
Well, take a closer look. See those white specks?
What white specks? Where?
There.
Oh, Blackie, my eyes. My eyes. Let go of my arm, Blackie.
Drop that gun, Faraday. Drop it.
Blackie, so help me out.
Thanks. Thanks very much, Faraday. And leave your gun on the floor. Mine's in my hand.
Blackie, someday you'll be sorry for this.
Maybe, but right now I'm awful glad. So long, Inspector.
Now back to Boston Blackie. Lester Allen is running for political office against a rival with a doubtful record. Allen at one time was innocently involved in a property scandal, which is something only Blackie knows. But when a woman who called herself Mrs. Boston Blackie came to Allen and threatened to expose him, Allen paid her $10,000 to keep her quiet. When Blackie went to see the girl posing as his wife, she was dead. Inspector Faraday found not only evidence proving the dead girl was Blackie's wife, but discovered Mary Wesley's handkerchief near the body. As usual, Blackie escaped from Faraday, and as we return to our story, is paying a midnight call to Mary Wesley's apartment.
Hey, Mary, open up.
Who is this?
Blackie.
Blackie, I told you I never wanted to see you again. Now go away.
Mary, open the door, please.
I said I wanted no part of you.
There won't be much of me left if you don't open the door.
All right. Now, what do you want?
In.
Oh, no. The chain stays on the door.
Look, Faraday's scouring the town for me. Let me in, will you?
No. Mr. Boston Blackie.
Why the mister?
Because there was a Mrs.
You mean there was?
Oh, I suppose you got a divorce.
Not even I can divorce a dead wife.
Yes.
And you might as well go to Faraday's office and sign a confession, Mary. He found your handkerchief near the body.
Oh, no.
What were you doing there?
Well, I wanted to see for myself what kind of a fool would be fool enough to marry you.
I'm not married to that girl or anybody.
Oh, Blackie, she showed me proof.
Give me 24 hours and I could prove to you that we were married in 1863.
Blackie, you're sure you're not married to that girl?
I'm not and never was.
Well, Blackie, are you telling me the truth?
Well, what do you want me to do to prove it? To chew on this door chain?
All right, I'm sorry, darling. I'll unhook it.
Never mind. All I wanted you to know is that you left your handkerchief in that girl's room.
Oh, golly. What am I going to do?
You're going to stay here. Faraday doesn't know that you've moved to this new apartment. I'm going over to see Les Allen. I think he can tell me more, or I don't know less.
Well, you must want something important, Blackie, to barge in on me in the middle of the night.
I found the late Mrs. Boston Blackie, Les.
Late, Mrs. Boston Blackie?
Someone got to her before I did and killed her.
Who?
I thought maybe you'd have some idea.
Why?
The $10,000 you paid her was missing.
Look, I'll admit $10,000 is a lot of money to me, Blackie, but I wouldn't kill for it.
You wouldn't like to have to add to that $10,000.
What do you mean?
You want to sap, Alan. You paid that girl money to keep her mouth shut. But it didn't buy what you thought she knew about you.
I was contemplating what to do about that.
I have a mild suspicion you contemplated with a bang.
I didn't shoot the girl.
How did you know she was shot?
Well, didn't you say so?
I merely said she was killed. I didn't say how.
I took it for granted.
It just so happens that she was shot.
Blackie, I didn't kill her. I'll admit I was worried about how to keep her from blackmailing me again, but I thought I'd wait until she tried it.
Then you admit you thought she would.
No, I made a bargain with her. I trusted her to keep it. Failing of mine, I guess. Trusting people.
The loss of money could change you.
Blackie, listen, don't drag me into this. I can't afford a scandal right now. This election means a lot to me.
If you want to stay out of this, you'll have to help me.
Help you? How?
What do you know about this girl? Who could have sent her?
Well, Leonard Brewster might have.
Oh, that's ridiculous. What would Leonard Brewster, the political lion, want with blackmail money? He could buy and sell you 50 times.
Brewster is a political lion, all right, but he could have sent that girl to me trying to force me out of the race.
Well, I'd better go see Brewster at his house. And if anybody calls while I'm there, they'll find the lion is busy.
What do you want?
If you're Leonard Brewster, I want you.
I'm Brewster. Who are you?
Boston Blackie. And of course you'll invite me in. Thanks.
Look here, I won't stand for being disturbed this time of the morning.
Then I'll make it brief. Did you know a girl posing as Mrs. Boston Blackie?
What's it to you?
She was murdered yesterday.
Murder?
And I happen to know you sent her to Lester Allen trying to force him out of the campaign.
What if I did? The last I saw her was in her hotel room Tuesday. She was very cordial. We sat on the sofa by the window and talked over my business proposition.
She accepted, of course.
No, she didn't. She suddenly turned cold as ice and said she'd do the job for $10,000 or else.
Or else what?
Or else she'd tell Lester Allen that I sent her to him, and that's all Allen would need for me to force me out of the campaign.
So you paid?
I did not. That was blackmail. I got up and left. That's the last I saw of her.
How did you happen to go to her in the first place?
Well, Jim Whalen, a private detective, set me up to her. He said she was your wife.
I sure would have liked to talk to her, even on the telephone, before she was murdered. Too bad I didn't have time to give my wife a ring.
Waltham House, good morning.
What's good about it, chum? It's 4 a.m.
Yes, sir.
This is Inspector Faraday of the police. I want to ask you something.
Oh, yes, Inspector.
Mrs. Boston Blackie checked into one room on Tuesday in your hotel and later changed her room. Why?
Well, it's so small, sir. All we can get in it is a bed, bureau, and chair.
Oh, I see.
Everybody who has that room asks for a bigger one.
Oh, wait a minute. How long was she in the small room?
Well, just Tuesday. We moved her to the room she was killed in Wednesday morning.
There's no sofa in the room she was in on Tuesday, huh?
Well, the room isn't much bigger than the sofa, sir.
Was there a sofa in the room where she was killed? Oh, yes. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, that solves this case.
Yes? How?
What you said about the sofa, chum. Sofas are made to lie on, not about.
Okay, Blackie, wake up. Get out of that bed of yours. It's the middle of the afternoon. Come on, snap out of it. This is your old pal, Faraday.
Well, Inspector Faraday. Have you run my bath water yet?
I'll run you ragged first.
Now, is that a nice way to talk on such a beautiful afternoon?
Am I ashamed of you?
Yes, I know. My sleep is showing.
I know who murdered your wife, Blackie. If you didn't kill her, Mary Wesley did.
You said that yesterday. Mary is in her apartment. Get her if you like.
I've been to her apartment. Mary doesn't live there anymore.
All right, Faraday. I've let you make a dope out of yourself long enough. Wait till I get dressed, and I'll take you to your killer.
I've got my killer. You or Mary. The dead girl was your wife. She was probably breaking up your romance with Mary. That's reason enough for either of you to kill her.
It's a good reason, all right, Faraday, only it's a wrong one.
I suppose Mary Wesley didn't even go to see her. That handkerchief of hers just flew into the murder room.
No, Mary went to see her.
Is this the beginning of a confession?
Somebody else went to her hotel room, too.
Yeah, you.
Yes, but she, shall I say, checked out before I got there.
Who else came up to see her?
Her killer.
Look, quit stalling. Get dressed.
Give me 30 minutes, Faraday.
To get dressed?
To get dressed, pay a call, and hand you your killer. I'm sorry to bother you again after this morning, Mr. Brewster.
That's perfectly all right, Blackie. You found out more about that girl who was killed?
No, nobody seems to know anything about her. That's why I've come back to you.
Oh.
I thought perhaps if you retold me the story of how you went to see her and what happened, I might get some clue as to her real identity.
I see. Sort of character reference, you might say.
The character is the word, all right. Could you tell me the story just as you told it to me when I called before?
Of course. I went up to her room at the Waltham house to talk about her going to see Lester Allen.
What day was this?
Tuesday in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Well, as I told you, she was very friendly. She made me a drink. We sat on the sofa.
The sofa was where?
Why, by the window.
Oh, that's right. You talked about the view?
Yes. Then we talked business. When I discovered her business was blackmail, I got up and left. And that was the last I saw of her.
You never saw her after Tuesday?
Definitely not. Leaving so soon?
No, I'm not leaving. I just want someone else to join us. Come on in, Faraday.
All right, Brewster, don't move.
What is the reason for all this?
You heard this little Tuesday afternoon story, Faraday, about the sofa?
Every word. I'm arresting you, Brewster, for the murder of Mrs. Boston Blackie.
How can you say I killed anyone?
I don't have to say it, Brewster. You said it yourself when you said you sat on a sofa in the murder room on Tuesday.
Well, what does that prove?
The room the murdered woman was in on Tuesday had no sofa in it, which proved that you lied. You didn't see her on Tuesday. You went to her room on Wednesday, when she was in the room with the sofa, and killed her.
Really? For what reason?
I have your reason, Brewster. On Wednesday, when you saw the girl, you had already been to see Allen. And instead of forcing him to withdraw from the campaign, which is what you paid her to do, she merely blackmailed him, which didn't serve your purpose.
Is that so?
Yes, that's so. When you got sore, she threatened to blackmail you, too. And with your record, she had plenty to blackmail you for. So, like the nice little boy that you are, you killed her.
Come on, Brewster. I'm taking you down to headquarters.
Hey, Brewster, I just had a thought. Isn't it ironic that a sofa is going to send you to the chair?
Where are we walking, Blackie?
Does it matter, Mary?
Mm-mm.
You're voting tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I understand Leonard Brewster withdrew from the race.
Yes. He withdrew to the seclusion of one of Faraday's special cells with Jim Whalen, that detective of his.
Well put.
Faraday found Whalen in St. Louis with Allen's $10,000.
Oh. Mrs. Boston Blackie wasn't married at all, was she?
Mrs. Boston Blackie was married to Jim Whalen. Faraday figured that out, and Whalen admitted he was married under the name of Boston Blackie.
Well, why did he run away with the money the girl got from Mr. Allen?
She double-crossed him when she blackmailed Allen.
So he double-crossed her by taking the money and scrambling.
And then the girl had to turn around and try to blackmail Brewster to make up for the money her lovely husband had taken from her.
Lovely people.
Lovely night.
And look at that lovely sign over there. It says, get married in 5 minutes, $5.
I think we'd better keep moving.
What's the matter? Haven't you got $5?
No, the smallest I have is 50.
Oh, but I'm sure the minister would be willing to make the change.
I don't doubt that the minister is willing to make the change, Mary, but I don't think I am.
nice day, isn't it, Miss Wesley?
Now, how can you tell, Tom? All you do is go up and down in the elevator all day long.
When I'm on the main floor, I can sneak a look out the front door to keep myself posted.
Oh, I see.
Here's your floor, Miss Wesley.
Thank you. When Mr. Boston Blackie arrives, bring him right up, will you?
Sure will.
Oh, Tom. Tom, quick, come here.
Holy mackerel.
No, don't jump. Don't jump, please.
See, Miss Wesley, grab her quick. I'm coming.
Get away from that window. Get away.
Grab her.
Let go of me. Let Tom hurry up. I can't hold him much longer.
I'm coming. There.
Oh, let me jump, please. Grab her other arm. You have no right to stop me.
I have it.
Oh, it's all right. All right. Oh, you shouldn't have stopped me. You shouldn't.
You shouldn't. 25 stories, lady in town, all the way.
Let's take her to my apartment, Tom.
Yes, ma'am. Good thing we got here in time.
You haven't kept me from killing myself. You've just postponed it. I tell you, I've got to die.
And now meet Richard Calmer's Boston Blackie. Enemy to those who make him an enemy, friend to those who have no friend.
Oh, Blackie, I'm glad you're here. I couldn't do a thing with him.
That's all right, Mary. Maybe I can do something.
Hi, Miss Wesley.
Hello, Shorty.
Anything I can do?
Be a nice boy, Shorty. Nice and quiet.
Oh, sure, boss.
Mary, what's this girl's name?
I don't know. She won't tell me.
Look, Miss, whatever your name is.
Please, I want to die. Can't you let me alone?
Look, nothing can be as bad as all that.
Please let me go.
When you're all right, we'll let you go.
I'm all right now.
Jump out the window again? Oh, no.
Please, I want to die. I have to die.
Won't you tell us your name?
No.
Look in her purse, Mary, and see if you can find a name and address.
All right. You don't understand, either one of you.
We understand perfectly. That's why we want to help you.
No one can help me.
My, this is a beautiful purse. Ooh, no wonder. It's a haven.
What about identification?
Oh, well, there doesn't seem to be much of anything in it. This card,
Let's see it.
there's a name written on it in pencil. Oscar Wolf. Here.
Thanks.
boss.
Look, Miss, what's his name? Are you Mrs. Oscar Wolf?
No. If you must know my name, it's Larson. Mrs. Janice Larson.
Hey, boss.
Just a minute, Shorty. Look, Mrs. Lawson, what's your connection with Oscar Wolf?
He's the reason that I...
In words, then, he's making trouble for you.
That guy Wolf makes trouble for everybody, boss.
You know him, Shorty?
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Please let me go, will you?
Not yet. Try to keep it quiet, will you, Mary? Shorty, how do you happen to know Oscar Wolf?
Well, I guess I shouldn't have said nothing, Blackie, but me and my pals are going to take care of Wolf our own way.
Now, wait a minute, short one. You know better than to get into trouble again.
Yeah. What me and my pals are figuring on doing to this Wolf ain't no trouble, boss. That's a pleasure.
You let me handle Wolf for you.
No, thanks, boss.
Where can I see him, Shorty?
Now, look, please, boss, stay away from him,
Look,
will you?
Mrs. Lawson, maybe you'll be able to tell me where I can get in touch with Mr. Wolf.
I can't tell you.
All right, Shorty. It's up to you.
Oh, Blackie, do I have to?
What's his address?
Well, all right. Got an office in a hollow building, number 2121. But that's just the front.
Thanks, Shorty. And Mrs. Lawson, cheer up. When I find out what's behind that front, I'll be back.
Take the phone, take a letter to, Mr. Robert Hyman. Dear Mr. Hyman, how are you? I am fine. I am fine, period, semicolon. It's not a regular professional. Now, let's see how it comes back. So you push the telephone needle back. So.
Take a phone, take a letter to Mr. Robert Hyman. Dear Mr. Hyman, how are you?
Peter. Hi, Mr. Wolf. How many times have I told you not to play with that dictaphone? Oh, Mr. Wolf, it's fun. Look, I've been buzzing you on the inner office phone for a whole minute. Couldn't you hear me?
Was that what the buzzing was, Mr. Wolf? I'm sorry.
Listen, we're having a visitor in a few minutes.
Yeah?
Boston Blackie.
Yeah?
He phoned from downstairs. He's on his way up.
Yeah?
Do you have to answer yeah to everything I say?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I don't know why Boston Blackie suddenly wants to see me, but I have a good idea. Probably found out what we're up to.
Yeah.
All right, maybe Blackie knows nothing, so no rough stuff unless it's necessary. And when you say the word, Mr. Wolf, I'm going to let you decide when and if this Blackie needs your attention. When he comes in, send him right into my office. You sit here at your desk and listen in through the inter-office telephone. You understand? Sure. And don't take time off to play with that dictaphone. No, listening in on you will be just as much fun. All right. If what Blackie talks to me about hits too close to home, you come into my office and get rid of him. Rough stuff, maybe, huh? Only if necessary. Understand? Yeah. That's probably Blackie out in the hall now. Wait a minute and then send him into my office. Yeah, Mr. Wolf. Come in.
This is Oscar Wolf's office?
Yeah.
I'm Boston Blackie. I just phoned and made an appointment. Mr. Wolf.
Yeah, go right in. He's waiting for you.
Thanks.
The door right there.
Thank you. Mr. Wolf?
Come in, come in.
I'm Boston Blackie.
And to what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
It may not be a pleasure, Wolf. You know, you look very familiar to me.
I get out and around.
I think you mean in and out, Wolf. In and out of jail.
I've never been in jail.
Not under the name of Oscar Wolf.
What do you mean?
I came here with the idea that I was going to talk to a semi-legitimate businessman about some clients of his. I didn't know I was going to talk to you. You don't have clients, you have victims.
Well, go ahead.
Look, Wolf, I don't know what your racket is, but that's only because I haven't bothered to check into it yet.
Is this the beginning of a threat?
That depends on you. It might only be a warning. But leave certain friends of mine alone, or I'll not only break your racket, but your neck along with it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But you know what I mean, don't you?
You propose violence to put an end to my business.
And to you, too, Wolf.
Are you suggesting, Blackie, that you'll go so far as to kill me?
Why not? Nobody'd miss you except the people your death would make happy.
You entertain rather morbid thoughts.
I'm the entertaining type. But don't let these friends of mine have any more trouble with you, Wolf. That's all I've got to say.
I still don't know what... Yes, Jeter?
This guy annoying you, Mr. Wolf?
Yes, he is. But I think he's leaving.
Yes, I guess I am.
Goodbye, Blackie.
If I were you, I'd keep hoping this is goodbye.
Yeah, Jeter, I'm glad you didn't forget to listen in on the inter-office phone.
Did more than that, Mr. Wolf. And not only listened, I took down everything he said on a dictaphone.
Won't you ever stop playing with that dictaphone?
Oh, boys, it was fun. Now I got something else to listen to besides the dictaphone coming back to me.
All right. Where's the guy who calls himself Jeter?
Here, Inspector Faraday, here. You want to talk to me, huh?
Yeah. When you came into this office this morning, you found your boss's body, huh?
Yeah.
Did you know Oscar Wolf was really Teddy Pascal?
It was Mr. Wolf.
You look dumb enough to believe that. Who's been gunning for him lately?
Nobody.
Come on. A guy like Wolf has guys waiting for him at every corner. Who could have come in here and let Wolf have it?
Oh. A man came in here yesterday and said he would like to kill Mr. Wolf.
Know the man's name?
Boston Blackie.
What? No, I don't believe it. This is one time I won't be talked into thinking Blackie killed a guy.
I have a dictaphone record that talks back Blackie and Mr. Wolf.
You better talk sense.
You won't believe me? Listen. Play it for you. Now listen.
Are you suggesting, Blackie, that you'll go so far as to kill me?
Why not? Nobody'd miss you except the people your death would make happy.
You entertain rather morbid thoughts.
Stop that thing.
Sure, Inspector.
That was Blackie talking, all right. This is one time Blackie's talked himself into a charge of murder.
I don't think Wolf will bother you again, Shorty.
Oh, me and the boys are seeing to that, Blackie. In fact, we might have seen to it already.
Huh? What does that mean?
Oh, nothing, boy.
Shorty, if you're up to anything,
Well...
I'll get it. Probably the laundry. See if my fountain pen's in the bedroom, will you, Shorty? I've been missing it.
Oh, sure, boy.
All right. Now, what do you...
Hello, Blackie.
Well, Inspector Faraday. I suppose I have to invite you in.
I'll come in anyhow.
I'm sure of that. I was just thinking about you. Oh, rather, I was thinking about absolutely nothing, and that's the same thing.
Don't try any tricks now, Blackie. This time I've got you on a murder rap you'll never beat. You're coming with me.
Oh, no, not again. Put that gun away.
Blackie, come back here. I'll shoot.
Then go ahead and shoot. I'm going into the bedroom and lie down. I'm tired and mostly of you.
Blackie, so help me open that door. I'll let you have it. Unlock that door, Blackie.
I can hardly wait. Who did I kill this time, Inspector?
Teddy Pascal, alias Oscar Wolf.
Teddy Pascal, huh? I knew I'd seen that face somewhere before.
Oh, then you admit you went to see him.
Sure I saw him. What did I do? Forget to pay admission?
You threatened to kill him, Blackie, and you did.
Did that puff-brained sidekick of his hear anything I said to Wolf?
He not only heard it, wise guy, he made a recording of it, every word. That's why I'm taking you in for the murder of Oscar Wolf.
Sorry, Inspector, but I have other plans.
The only thing you'll be able to plan from now on is a jailbreak, chum, because I've got the goods on you this time.
Oh, Inspector.
All right, Blackie. I gave you the warning to open that door. Blackie. Blackie!
Yeah?
Oh, what's the idea of scaring me like that? You know I missed on purpose. But next time I won't. And on purpose. Open up.
Okay.
That's better. And come out with your hands up.
But I ain't done nothing, Inspector. Honest, I...
Sure, do you mean to tell me I've been talking to you?
Yeah, me.
Where's Blackie?
Well, a minute ago, he all of a sudden got tired of conversing with you, and I tailed it out the back way.
Now back to Boston Blackie. When a woman who later identified herself as Janice Larson tried to commit suicide, she was stopped by Mary Wesley, Boston Blackie's girlfriend. Blackie discovered that a man named Oscar Wolf was the cause of the woman's difficulties. Wolf, it seems, had also been making trouble for Shorty, Blackie's longtime friend. So Blackie saw Wolf, threatened him, and left. Later, Wolf was found dead. And when Inspector Faraday began to investigate, he found that Wolf's assistant had made a recording of the conversation between Wolf and Blackie. Faraday went to Blackie's apartment to make an arrest, but Blackie escaped. It is late the same afternoon, and Blackie is sitting on a park bench with Mary.
What are you thinking about, Blackie?
Not what I ought to be thinking about at a time like this, in a place like this. You'll forgive me, won't you, Mary?
Well, all the same, we aren't just going to sit here and count daisies, are we?
No. I've been doing some thinking.
About what?
About what saps we were to fall for that Lawson woman's story. On account of it, I've had to duck Faraday's cops for hours.
But, Blackie, it seems so real.
If the story she told was real, why isn't the woman real, too? There's no such person as Janice Lawson, the telephone book or city director.
Well, then she just gave a false name under the circumstances. I don't blame her.
She's tied up with Wolf's death. In fact, I have two theories about Wolf's murder.
Two?
Shorty and his underworld pals were considering some kind of action against Wolf.
Oh, you don't think Shorty and his friends might have killed him?
I hope I'm wrong. But until I find Shorty, I have to think so.
Yes, but you said you had two theories.
My other guess is that Janice Lawson's attempt at suicide was a phony, and the beginning of a plot to frame me for Wolf's murder.
Oh, darling, what makes you think so?
Isn't it just a little more than coincidence that Oscar Wolf was killed a few hours after I threatened him?
Well, yes.
And isn't it peculiar that Wolf's dumb assistant makes a recording of everything I said?
What you said, he was just like an overgrown kid with a new toy.
Well, all I know is Faraday's going to hunt through this town till he finds me if he has to start using a vacuum cleaner. And I have to find Mrs. Lawson before he finds me.
Blackie, Mrs. Lawson had a Hazelton purse.
Oh, that certainly helps.
Well, of course it does, silly. Hazelton purses are custom made by the B.J. Hazelton Company. I don't think they make more than 40 or 50 a year.
Say, if we can describe Mrs. Lawson's purse, the Hazelton Company might tell us where we can get a hold of her.
I should think so.
Well, come on. Let's get down to Hazelton's. You may have the answer there,
Oh,
Mary.
Blackie, you think so?
If we can get some information on the bag, this thing may be in the bag. Fourth floor, please.
So far, so bad, huh, Blackie?
Well, we found out from Hazelton's that just 2 people bought a bag like the one we described, not 20.
Yes, but the first woman we went to see wasn't our Mrs. Larson.
Then this has got to be.
What if it isn't?
Well, let's not even think about that.
Here we are, apartment 411.
Cross your fingers, Mary. This had better be it.
They're crossed so hard they ache. Ring the buzzer.
What a wonderful way to spend a beautiful Wednesday evening.
Yes?
We'd like to speak to the lady of the house.
She isn't in.
Hey, don't close the door just yet. We'll come in and wait.
She's out of town. She won't be back for a month.
Thanks. In that case, we won't wait.
Oh, Blackie, what are we going to do?
I don't know. Well, come on.
Maybe we better go back and ask to see a picture of that woman.
Say, Mary, did it seem to you that maid at the door was nervous?
Yes, I noticed that.
She should be. She's the woman we're looking for. She's Janice Lawson.
Blackie, you're right. Of course you are. I wondered why she almost closed the door as soon as she saw her.
But I got a good look at her before she did.
And I see now how she got her expensive clothes in that Hazelton purse. She borrowed them from the woman who lives in that apartment.
And she picked your building and your floor to stage a suicide. She was hired by someone planning to kill Wolf. The whole thing is a frame.
Well, then Shorty didn't kill Mr. Wolf.
Shorty may still be mixed up in this some way.
Hey, let's go back and talk to that maid.
Oh, no. No. I'm leaving her alone until tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night? Thursday?
Thursday, my sweet. That's maid night out.
Hi, Blackie.
Get in the car, Mary. Too bad you didn't get back sooner. I was just listening to the police on the radio. Guess what? After 2 days, they're still looking for me.
I'm so surprised. Move over.
Convenient Instruments auto radios.
Oh, the maid is in that drugstore, and she's doing just what you thought, Blackie. She's telephoning. She knows that we've been following her.
Close the door. She may come out in a minute and drive off.
Okay. I got close enough to the telephone booth to hear part of what she was saying. She's going out to meet her friends, and she has told them that you were following her.
Well, this is working out better than I thought.
Oh, Blackie, no, it isn't. They apparently told her to let you follow her. Now set a trap for you.
Perfect. I'll ride right into it.
Oh, no, Blackie, no, you can't.
No, I'm pretty sure I can. Don't you see, Mary? If that maid is leading me into a trap, she also is leading me to Oscar Wolf's killer.
And also to an early grave.
Maybe, but cemeteries are so pretty this time of year.
Oh, Blackie, they'll be waiting for you. You don't know when or where. And now that they know you suspect them, there's no telling what they'll do to you.
Look, Mary, I'm glad you're worried about me. I wouldn't like it any other way. But unless I follow this girl, I'll have Faraday following me the rest of my life. Now, that's a repulsive thought.
Well, if you must tail this girl, then call the inspector and have him go with you.
Mary, if I called Faraday, I'd have to go with him. But you're right about the danger. Honey, I think I'd better solo from here on.
Oh, Blackie, please, will you get Faraday?
Why do you think I left my own car at home and rented this cream-colored jalopy? I don't want Faraday near me.
Please don't do this, darling.
Honey, I have to. Now, be a good girl and go home. I'll call you as soon as I have this thing cleared up.
Oh, Blackie, you're such a fool.
Go ahead, Mary. Please, a fool, then, huh? Out.
I'll say I'm getting out. Oh, my goodness. My purse, I dropped it.
Oh, you dropped your purse? Wait a minute. I'll come around and pick it up for
I
you.
can pick up my own purse, thank you.
Well, better do it quickly, then. Our girlfriend, the maid, is coming into the drugstore.
Blackie, please, when you change your mind and call Faraday.
Not a chance. I won't call him, and he has no way of finding me.
No? If I were you, Blackie, I wouldn't be quite so sure.
Oh, brother, another red light.
Give me a lift, bud.
Sorry,
Thanks. Don't yell for no cops or this gun will go off in your middle.
Well, you came along sooner than I thought you would.
You gotta go, Light. Get going.
Sure. Okay, where to?
Let's keep following that car.
With pleasure.
And with me. Go left at this crossroad. I got a gun on you, see?
I'd rather watch the road than the rod. Joke.
Glad you told me. And it's a cop car in back of us. Can't warn us, but don't give no signals when he passes.
Signals? You mean like dropping my handkerchief?
Hey, step on a brake. That cop is cutting us off.
How unfortunate.
Hey, what is this?
Said we have company.
Okay, Blackie. Don't try any tricks. I got a gun on you.
Inspector Faraday. Why, everybody has a gun on me, even my little playmate here.
Grab him on the other side, Monahan.
Got him. Let go of me. I got a permit.
Sure. Come on, Blackie. You and your partner are going down to headquarters.
Not till I finished what I started.
You were finished when you killed Oscar Wolf.
I didn't kill Wolf, and thanks to you, my one clue to Wolf's real killer got away.
No stalling. Come on.
Look, Faraday, give me 60 seconds alone in this car with my pal here, and I'll find out who Wolf's killer really is.
And have you drive away? Nothing doing.
All right, here. Here are the keys to this car. Ignition and everything.
I don't know why I listened to you, Blackie.
Because if you don't, you won't know anything.
Let me out of here.
Oh, no, pal. Oh, no. You and I are going to sit here and play patty cake. Faraday, you and Monahan take a little walk, will you?
What are you going to do?
Give my pal here 20 seconds to tell me where I can find Wolf's killer.
What if he won't talk?
He'll talk, Faraday. Or it'll be a week before he can move his jaw again. That mug said Wolf's killer was at 47 Willow Street, and this is 47 Willow Street. All right. Let's open the door.
How did you do that?
It was extremely difficult. I turned the knob. Wait a minute. The adhesive tape is coming off my knuckles. My pal's jaw was a little hard.
Look, if that door was unlocked, we're not on the trail of any killer. A killer doesn't hide out in an unlocked house.
He may have been expecting someone, you know.
You?
Yes. He expected me to be following a girl named Janice Lawson.
Who's she?
The girl I was following. And not for the reason you think. She probably screamed when she heard the siren on your car.
Janice?
Shh. What did I tell you?
The voice came from that room there. Let's go.
Not so fast.
Janice?
Unless he thinks it's Janice, he may duck out the back way. Come on. Open the door, quick.
Who's there?
It's Janice.
Now, come on in.
Okay, Faraday, let's go.
Janice, what's the
All right, don't move.
Hey, what is this?
Hey, Faraday, look who's here. It's Jeter, Oscar Wolf's secretary.
Oh. Hey, Inspector Faraday.
Well, aren't you going to say hello to me, or did you expect me to arrive with less official company?
What's this guy got to do with killing Wolf?
Check on Wolf, and you'll find he was the boss of a very high-paying racket.
I've already checked. He was hijacking drugstore supplies and selling them to anybody who'd take a chance.
And this guy, Jeter, wanted to boss the racket himself.
He's too dumb for that.
I wouldn't hurt Mr. Wolf. He was nice to me.
Don't start putting on that act again, Jeter. No dope could have planned to frame me into Wolf's killing as well as you did. First, you sent that Lawson girl up to Mary's apartment house to pretend suicide. Then to tell me a phony story so I'd come down to see Wolf.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I do. When I felt the trick, you made a recording of everything I said to Wolf. It was just about cinched the case against me. When what you had on that record sounded like condemning evidence against me, you shot and killed Wolf.
You don't make any sense.
It seemed kind of funny to me that you'd have a record of Blackie's voice. It was too pat. I don't say this proves you killed Wolf, but you're coming to headquarters for questioning.
Don't yell, Jeter. Just say, come in. Let's get behind the door, Inspector, quick.
Come in.
Peter, something awful has happened. Blackie stopped following me, and I had to duck from the
Who
cop.
are you?
What do you mean, who am I? You owe me $500.
I never seen you before in my life.
You never saw me before. You hired me to put on an act in that apartment building for you so you could get Boston Blackie into your boss's office.
That's it, Faraday.
You fool, why didn't you keep your mouth shut?
All right, lady. You too, Jeter. You're coming down to headquarters.
Still only for questioning, Inspector?
For answering, Blackie, to a charge of murder. I know when I've found my man.
My congratulations, Inspector, for the brilliant way you found him.
You seem very happy tonight, Blackie.
I'm a little puzzled, though, Mary, and worried.
Worried? About Shorty.
No, I found Shorty. He and his friends had nothing to do with Wolf's death. And the reason I couldn't find Shorty before is that he was looking for me.
Well, then what are you worried about?
The way Faraday managed to find me when I was trailing the maid's car, he's getting too smart.
Oh, Blackie, I'm afraid I have a confession to make.
A confession?
Uh-huh. You remember when I accidentally dropped my purse?
Accidentally?
Well, it wasn't accidentally. I dropped it so that I could use my lipstick to write the word Blackie on that nice cream-colored car of yours.
You mean I drove down the street with the word Blackie written on the side of my car in lipstick?
Sure. Don't you like Blackie in lipstick?
Well, maybe, Mary. But that's getting it the hard way.
Mm-hmm.